to see you're here. Thank you. You found the time for our second lesson. I would like to begin with the congratulations because our first lesson have been published to ACTUM website, so everybody now can see our videos. So today we will speak about news for React because some days ago it was new release. We will talk about lifecycle hooks and we will try to validate our forms. So I'll begin with news. Some days ago it was not so big, but changes. Now prop types is deprecated from React. It means we can't use it from React library, but we can use it from the third-party library, which calls just prop types, and we will change our stuff. npm minus. Is it okay or I need to? No, okay. Prop types. And it changes just that's all. So everything changed, but when we run our npm run dev, React will notify us that it's deprecated already. So we go to localhost. It works now, my local machine.
Do you know the reason why it's deprecated?
To be honest, I don't know. To be honest, I'll send you a link. So may please listen and send you these links so you can read about it. How to.
Do you know anything about the React 16?
16? No. To be honest, no.
They wrote that they will completely rewrite of React's internals.
Really? Okay, I think we will cover it. So yes, it was about prop types, and I found the better tool if you have some small discussion with your teammates and you would like to prototype your React components. I recommended you JS Field. Yes, but now I found better tool. It's a code sandbox, which efforts you to build React routing, Redux. You can prototyping, keep your file structure, third-party dependencies, publishing, forking, what you want. I will also send you this link because I know that how it's difficult to set React environment this first time. So it was about news. And now we will talk about lifecycle hooks. What is it? So React component, it's like an independent component, and every component has their own lifecycle. Just lifecycle. It's a list of methods which are fired by React step by step. So it's okay. Do you see it? So first we begin from here in sunlighting. When you render your component, first method it get default props. From previous lesson we know that we can init our props in component, not just pass it, but also can init it in the component. But it's not good practice, not good approach. It's like an anti-pattern. But otherwise we have this method in our lifecycle. Also get initial state. It's an old syntax. Now you can just run the state, and this is the same. So first we init props, init state. After that we have method component will mount. It's a function method which calls before when it will be rendered. For example, let's build it at the same time. I will take here and for example article list. We need to write it to class and extend from component, extends component, and this stuff we put to render method. And here we just write component will mount. So let's, for example, will mount. And here in render we rendering. You see, first will mount, rendering. And React also notifies that prop type is deprecated. So the next method it's render, yes, and component did mount. It's everything what after rendering. So here our view, and we can change our state, props, re-render our stuff, how it works. When you change your props, how you change your props? You pass new props to your child components. The first method will be component will receive props, next props. Also, you can run set state. For example, we have, do we have it? Yes, set state. So after this method, we've got should component update, and it should return true or false. If it will be false, we will not re-render our component, so you will not see the difference. Default it's true. Sometimes from performance and optimizing perspective we can use it, but really rarely. After that, component will update, render, and component did update. Also, you can skip this should component update using force update, but it's anti-pattern now. So now please try, don't use force update. My question is for you, we can use this state in these functions, in these methods. Why we can't use in these two? You see there is no this dotted arrow. Why we can't use here? Maybe I need to. Any ideas? It will be recursion. Because you change state here, you go to here, set state again, change state here, here. It will be recursion. So you'll have infinity cycle. Also, you can remove your component from document object model and from real DOM by, and method would be component will unmount. So let's implement and to see how component unmounting. For example, if we go to our application, we would like to remove it from here. I don't know, we're administrator and we would like to remove it. Let's add this functionality. But first, no, it will be later. We emulate our API by articles, by our JavaScript file. Any ideas when we should call it? For example, if it's remotely, no our local, but if it's remotely, what do you think? Where we should send Ajax request to catch articles? Any ideas?
After click? I don't know.
After quick?
Click.
No. Component? Yes, here, before rendering. I forget to say, these methods will be only once. So you have component will mount, component did mount only once. When you render it, this method will not work. So let's emulate our API remotely using this JSON. I'll show you JSON server. It's a tool how to create REST API for, as they say, 30 seconds. Yes, you can read about it. So full fake REST API. So I'll send you this link to here. So I prepared everything, do not waste time. So if we have here, I create API folder and article JSON. So it's the same, but in JSON format. Also, I install JSON server globally. It should work globally because yes, we run it in our terminal, and add command to our backend JSON. JSON server watch and this path from src API article JSON. But we would like to fire it at the same time with our dev local machine, and I created concurrently method. It's run it parallelly. So first we run dev and API at the same time. So, and we can npm start. Let's run it. Don't need it. You see, we create our local machine, and by this URL we can find our API. Yes, so now it's remotely, and we can send AJAX request to this API. We will use Axios to send AJAX requests. You can also, so yeah.
I just want to say that there is even online version of this, like where you can say which format of JSON you want, and you can receive it back. So I do not remember the name.
MIME type application JSON. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
It doesn't matter. I just want to say, like, if you want to try with random JSON, you can find it even locally. You do not have to install.
Yes. But for example, if we need REST API to send queries to this API, it's a great tool. So let's first create component, new component, which call app. This app will send requests and pass these articles via props to article list. So import React from React. Also we need Axios, npm e minus Axios. It's a library to send AJAX request, XML HTTP requests. So Axios from Axios, and class React React extends component export default app. Here we component render method or return div. So we need to send our request here. So we write component will mount. After that, so we need also init our state. Here we will keep our articles, and we write Axios dot if I remember. So let me check documentation how to rightly write it. Yes, I'll also send you if you are needed. Yes, Axios get, then we can keep it here. But here we will use our link from here. So function response, and let's see what the response we have. And we need to, so now instead of article list we will render up component. So here will be just up from up, and up will include article list. Articles is not defined. Oh yes, of course. Oh, sorry. Let's remove it for the first time and let's see what's going on here. Yes, we've got config, headers, requests, data. We need data from here, and this is our API. And just put it to our state. So state articles, it will be empty array, and here we just this set state articles, sorry, response data. Cool. We change our state, and here we will, as a child, we will use article list. And via props, we will pass our articles. Articles equals articles. Let's go to article list. We don't need the here articles, that's all. We don't need component will mount. And just here we will use using destructurization articles from props. That's all. Let's check it. Articles is not defined. Canary property of, oh sorry, yes. This and state. We should pass our state articles here. Cannot read property set state of undefined, this set state. Oh yes, here our function. Should works. Otherwise at home it was working. Yes, so now we catch our API remotely and render it by component will mount, so it's the same. And let's go to our React, and here at state we see our articles. So now let's talk about how to unmount our component. It will be example like remove our article, but first maybe questions. And no? Okay, commit. Catch articles. Cool. So here we need to write method which will remove our article from our state articles. Let's call it remove article. It's a arrow function. How will we find what article we need to remove? By ID. So here run ID. Here we will filter our this state articles to find which articles not equals which removed. So const articles equals this state articles filter article, and we need to return if article ID is not equal ID. So here we have array articles without removed and just this set state articles. And yes, the method is ready. We need to pass it to our child via props. First, our child is article list. We pass it as remove article, remove this. Sorry, I'm not writing prop types because it's wasting of time now. But of course, for every component which has props, we need to write prop types. So we pass it to article list. Here we need to pass article list to every article. We should parse also ID, article ID, and remove article. Here remove Everything clear? So silence, everything clear. So we pass it to article. Now article has our remove article method. Now we just add button remove type button, and here just remove, oh no, sorry, on click. Here we should pass just a function, not the result of function. But as you remember, we need to pass arguments also. To pass arguments, we write like empty arguments. So here we write this props remove article, and here our ID. Our ID is this props ID. Looks good. Yes? Let's test it. Works. And here let's add method component will unmount. Yes? Is it right?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, of course.
When you click on remove, my idea was that you even delete it from that JSON.
No, no, it's untrue. Just from the state. But also when you remove from, yes, you're right, from better approach, we need to also write script which will send delete request to our API. Yes. Or maybe after the end of session, you send new state, maybe because of the whole session you will remove many articles and add many articles. So yes, from better approach, we need to send delete request. So, and unmounting. You see, before removing from DOM, we run unmounting method. So, cool. It was about lifecycle hooks. Is it clear? So, again, here we send Ajax request. Here, I don't know, for example, you can also here put animation because rendering maybe late some time, and here turn off your animation. Here just also say goodbye, something like that. And it's set state from optimization perspective, and so it depends on your task. So, but yes. So remove article. So now we will talk about how to validate our form. First, we need to add our form. This form, using this form, we will add more articles to our article list. Because of it, I created app component to put form component here, like something like that here. It will be on the top of our page. So let's create our component, JavaScript form. Import React and component from React, class form extends component, and export default form. So, question, what do we need right now? I mean, what the method is required for every class? Render. Without render, you will not render your component to DOM. So, and return J6. So it will be form and here, for example, label. Instead of for, J6 use HTML4. So yes, sometimes because for it's a JavaScript word for looping. Because of it, they use HTML4. For example, let it be title. Title. Here we have input text. What else? That's all. Oh yes, you're right. ID title. Is it right? No. Every tag we should close. Don't forget it. But maybe your ID will tip you. But otherwise, don't forget to close every tag. Inputs, labels, everything. So, and here we have title or text. Text. Sorry, we will not use CSS. It will be ugly, but otherwise, we're talking about business logic. Button type, button, add article. Let's see what we have. We will not see because React, and we need to what?
Button type submit.
Submit will reload our page. We don't want to reload our page. App, and here we import form from form. Yes, form. Looks good. Yes, pretty good. So now let's talk about logic, how we will add article to our article list. First, as we keep our articles to app component, so here we also should keep method to add article. Here we remove article and add article.
Can you please briefly explain for what state is used?
State keeps all our articles.
Yes, but previously you had here is open and so on. So state keeps your data in React, or
State keeps data which describes component. And this data should be dynamic. The previous lesson, our articles was static. Now we would like to remove, add, so now it's dynamic. And this data describes our application.
so you will render what you have in the state.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You can also use state not only what you should rendering. It's like a properties. For example,
yes.
Is open. It's just a state, open or not. But it's dynamically. And this describes article component. Is open or not. So articles also describes app component.
So is it something like your variables in classes, in basic JavaScript classes? Like
No, it's like state props. It's like yes, imagine that, for example, React component, it's a, for example, object of class, and state and props, it's a variables of this class.
Yes, yes.
Yes, you're right.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So in app, add article. Here we'll pass article. So we can't change set state for the first time. We should keep it immutable. Because of it, we need to copy our state. For example, const article use spread operator this article. Why? Because only once we should change our state. Let's first copy of articles, add new articles to articles array, change state by articles array. So maybe it's better for future. Add new articles to article array. So now the question, the new articles will be on the top or on the bottom? Bottom. Okay, let's do it bottom. Because of it, we write article push.
Articles?
Sorry, yes, you're right. Articles, push. Article?
Also the line above, maybe.
Yes. Sorry. And
Maybe.
again, yes. What else?
Or this is right?
No, of course.
Okay.
This state articles. Yes, now it's right. Cool. And now we change our state. Set state. That's all. This is method which will add new article to our article list. Is it clear? I think so. So we should pass this method to our form component via props, because this business logic will be in a form component. Add article. This add article. Pass it. In form. Let's run. No. So here we should pass all our values from title, text, and ID, of course. Let's keep this data in a state, because this data describes our form and they are dynamic. State, title, text. Now it's empty. And here in value, we write value. This, no, title, text. Here just const using destructurization, title, text, state. Cool. Now will be like a small, not disadvantages, but for beginners it's a little bit weird behavior. It's read-only. It's read-only because value only state. If I don't change state, it will not change. Yes? So it doesn't matter I write everything or not. Yes. But for example, sometimes you need to write something. You need to use sometimes, yes, default value. So now it will be not read-only, but we will use read-only. So we need to create method on change. Every change will change our state. Our letter will change our state. Method handle change.
Really, every key press is gonna change.
Sorry?
Every single key press
will change our state. And so will change value of our input. Here we pass field, because we have two inputs, field and value. And here just write set state, field, and value. I think so. And we need to pass it here on change. Again, this one, this, handle change. Here will be title, here will be text. Via arguments we will pass event. And here just run right. Event, target, value. It's a value of this input which we are typing. Let's test. What's wrong? Handle change is not a function. You're joking. It's a function. Yes, cool. And let's debug it via our React tool, our component form. You see? So we change our state every our type to the keyboard. So we change our state, change our forms, and after add articles, we need to pass our articles to new article list. So here we just create method handle click. I'll explain why I create the special method for it, not just pass props here. Here use this props add article, and here will be article. No, not article, this state. Now the question. So no, first on click here handle. We need to generate ID. As you remember, in our article.json we have ID, and we need to create unique ID. As you remember, we were talking about key attributes, that index is not good approach for keys, and so on. So there is two options how to generate keys. First, it's a random number, for example, from million to 10 millions. But
there's still chance.
Huh?
There's still chance that they will randomly render the one already exists in the database.
Yes, it's possible. It's small, but it's possible that your ID will be not unique. The second approach, it's a time when you create your article. In milliseconds. It's, of course, it's in theory, it's also possible that two guys will create at the same time, at the same millisecond, but yes.
That 80 below 0. Some random below 0. So we just don't.
Yes, but otherwise, we use it just for emulation. Your ID should provide it from backend, from server side. It's their work. But just for us, sometimes 1% from 100, you need to generate it. And we will use this new date. You see, every time it's unique. Yes, it's in Unix milliseconds. So let's create it to our app. Because of it, I create special method to generate ID here. ID equals plus new date. Our ID is done. And now we need to pass together as object with state. ID. Now question. Yes, this state. Yes, it doesn't work. I just want to ask, is it good to write like this? Of course not, because the state is object, but we need the values of this object. Because of it, we use spread operator. Yes. So let's test. From my home, first time was broken. Oh, React is awesome. Works, cool, but it's top. We can, instead of push, we can use unshift to top as you want. It's on you. Now let's talk about. Oh, we would like to reset our form because we add article. We would like to remove everything. First idea was just if it's form. Yes, it's form. Use method form reset. Will it work or not?
You are asking like this then?
No, it will not work because we don't change state. Yes, we should
No.
remove our, not remove, just keep it empty.
No.
Yes, and handle click here. We pass our state here, and here just write title empty, text empty.
But if you remove the values from the form, shouldn't method setState fire automatically?
If I remove, sorry, what?
Yeah, because you are watching some changes in the input. So if you remove the values from input, it should also call the function handle change.
No, it will not change because on change event listener works only
On user input.
yes, user input.
One
So again, React looks good. We add form. Also, we need to cover two topics, one small, one big. I don't know will we catch time or not, but let's cover small. Maybe we'll postpone form validation for next. We was talking about how to connect React with DOM nodes. It's easy. Let's see this beautiful another type of data in React, which calls is refs React. I will send you this data used for if you need managing focus, integrate with third-party DOM libraries like jQuery, triggering imperative animation, something like that, as you want. So, and how it will work? You just put in your form, for example, attribute ref form, that's all. For example, call it, I don't know, here. And here we run just console log this refs and value form. Our DOM nodes. Now you can attach jQuery, something like that, work with it with this DOM node. Sometimes you don't want to pass your DOM node to refs. We can pass instead of value function. Arguments will be input, the current input, and you can write this form. So we will keep it form input as variable of class, and here just write this form. And again form, and connect your jQuery stuff if you need. So let me commit, add articles and connection with DOM. I think that's all, because next topic will be form validation. It's about 20 maybe more minutes, because we will write business logic for rules, configs. We will cover third-party library because it's self-murdering to write everything for your hand. In internet you can find a lot of third-party components for React. So maybe questions?
Yes, I have one.
Yes.
It's pretty easy that you can use spread in the array. But
Yes.
what about if you have object?
Have object?
Yes. If you want to, if you have data in the object, not in the array. In our case now.
Spread operator works in object also.
Yeah, and
But if you have object in object, it doesn't work really good, I heard.
but
Relative
in my
object assign.
I understand.
yeah, but my question is not nested object, but still in our webpack it did not work. I asked in the channel, and they said that it's not implemented or it's not it doesn't work with the spread operator with the object.
Works, but
It should work, right?
it works. It doesn't work because Babel default Babel presets doesn't support it. You need to connect plugin spread object operator spread object Babel. Yes, because in my current project I also have the same approach. Yes, transform REST properties for object destructuring assignment. You just need to install this plugin in your Babel preset, add this one. It will work.
And also, this will help that in the project if you support the Internet Explorer, I think.
Sorry, what support?
In Internet Explorer, the spread operator doesn't work. So this plugin will help you in the Internet Explorer as well.
Yes, yes. It will convert to the JavaScript, ECMAScript 5, and Internet Explorer will support this one using this plugin. Also, array from, for example, you know this method, Babel doesn't convert it. So you need also array from, downloaded this plugin from Babel. Internet Explorer 11, I think supports, but Internet Explorer 10, no.
I didn't test it.
Yes,
So you might be
tricky
surprised.
part.
And I didn't install any
Test.
other than we have in DevStack, so. I think 11 should be okay.
No, I will not.
MDM.
Sorry. I don't know how to translate it. Maybe come here.
Yeah.
But we see the red color.
NUS. Sorry, I don't know why. Here?
Yeah.
Yes. Internet Explorer, not support. So yes, but array from Babel.
Tomorrow Ronald will have a lot of work.
Maybe today.
Polyfill Babel. Array from, yes. Babel is not protected array from, or yes, you can find it. But it's not React stuff. Okay.
But this plugin should help you with this problem, I guess.
Maybe another questions connected with React.
We'll check tomorrow.
No? So thank you very much for the second lesson. We
Next time you add a signal so we can do it.
today, not tomorrow, I will publish it to our intranet. We're here, yes. To be honest, somebody of us watched React, Westboss React starting. Not last week, maybe in your life. Yes?
I've seen it.
Total forgot everything.
But like 3 months.
You can rewatch it again
Yeah.
as you want. So,
Planning to watch it. On holiday, just
okay. So, yes, I highly recommend you watch from 1st to 20th. Westboss, it's about 2 hours. Next time we will cover form validation. We will talk about high order components, connect third part components, add animation, nested components. I hope we will catch it. If not, I notified you, maybe we will have 8 lessons. So, but form validation is important because most of us is challenging. It's challenging also for me. You're welcome for the 3rd lesson. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.